Good morning. Joe Cox Jr. here from Life Made Simple, getting you through this narcissistic world. So what we're going to talk about today is blame. So the way I've structured these videos is we're going to talk a little bit about what is blame. We're going to talk about some scenarios of what I've gone through in my life regarding blame. And then I'm going to talk, towards the end of it, we're going to talk about the lessons learned from blame. So what is blame? Blame is like, well, if you've grown up in a narcissistic family, you know blame very well, because you're going to be blamed for everything that is dysfunctional or wrong in the family. But what we have a tendency to do based on our belief systems, we have a tendency to still believe that there is people that are to blame for things. So do we blame um, others for our situation? So let me explain to you what I mean by that. If you go around blaming people for where you are, then what you're doing is you're actually taking away your own power. That's surprising, isn't it? Think about it. When you blame somebody else, I did this because of you, or I'm in this situation because of you. Well, they did have play a role in it. I'll agree with that. But let me explain to you in more detail. How about this? I grew up reading at a fifth grade level, graduated high school reading at a fifth grade level, left home at 16. So do I blame that on my mother? Does it help me to blame her? Was she the one that caused that? Yeah, she created, well, her and my father both created a toxic environment. And then she told me, to my face, toxic words as a child. She's probably the cause of it. That's where the cause and effect comes in, and we'll talk about that in another video. She's the one that played the role in that happening. Yes, that's nothing but negative, toxic energy that is no good for anything. So if I go back and blame her, hey, I can't do well in life now because it's your fault and you did this, blah blah blah, when I was 10 years old. There are probably situations to where that could be legitimate. But what I want to help you do is not be able to live in blame every day. How to look at blame. So when we look at blame, we want a tendency to shift the responsibility. Now, as a child, the parents are completely responsible for our upbringing. And yes, my mother did cause that, but I don't sit here and blame her for all my shortcomings in life, and want to say, I can't do this now because you did that years ago. It did make it harder. It made it more difficult. It made it much more frustrating for me to succeed in life because of what she did years ago. Now, as we get to be adults, so the whole idea on blame is understanding that, and I said it a while ago, is that we can shift this whole blame where it kind of gives us some relief. If I blame you for it, that takes the pressure off me. It's all on you. Well, the problem with that, now you're blaming, you're shifting it and taking it away from your power. Follow me here. So you're taking it away, your power away, instead of saying, you know what, as an adult, I did let them influence me, but I still made the decision. Once we get to be an adult, we still have to look at our life because we have power now. We have power to leave the house. We have power to do what we need to do in life. Now, this blame thing is it's going to be a hard thing for a lot of people to grasp. So don't think it's an easy, oh, Joe, you just told me that and I can accept all this now. It took me years to really understand this. So we'll do another video on it, but right now I want to get to the basics of it, understanding when you blame, you are shifting away your power. And the whole idea on all these videos is taking back your power. So how do we take back our power? We take full accountability and responsibility for ourselves of everything that happens. So let's say I go and I can give you so many real stories on this. I chose people to be my friends, and I told a story on one of my videos about the friend Johnny that we went to a gas station. I thought he was my friend. I trusted him. He put a tire in the car, pulled a tire in the car, and and I didn't realize that he was going to do that, and it kind of freaked me out. And let's just say we had gotten arrested. That whole storyline happened because I chose him as my friend. And the day I realized that I took responsibility having him for my friend, not that I took the tire, but I had him as my friend. The storyline is basically we were at a gas station. He pulled the tire into the car. I tell the whole story on another video. You might want to go watch that one. But it freaked me out. And I was 16 years old at the time. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have a father to go to, or we didn't have cell phones to call. Hey, what should I do on this? So we left, and I'm thinking, what did you just do? I didn't steal the tire, but I felt responsible for it. And I understand now why I felt responsible for it, especially as an empath, because we take in all the emotions of the event. So when he took that tire, I chose him as my friend. I accepted responsibility because I chose him as my friend. And that helped me make better decisions. If I had just blamed him for the tire and I didn't ban him from my life for the future, and I kept blaming him, I'm not going to learn my lesson. So this is what happens with family. We tend to blame family for all of our headaches. And honestly, they caused it. There's no question that the mother, father, toxicity, grown adults, that sort of thing. There's so many people that have brought so much toxicity into my life. But that was before I learned about all these concepts. I don't allow people to bring their garbage, if you will, into my life. And I will tell you, I was listening to, because the whole idea is we want to seek truth in life, okay? If you're watching this channel, chances are you're seeking truth. And I just heard, I don't know if you're familiar with David Hawkins. He passed away a few years ago. He is like kind of like the father of the consciousness scale, consciousness map. And he talks about people's different consciousness in this lifetime. And the higher this is where I learned a lot about this. So the higher the consciousness, that's where the empath level, that's where you feel so much. And all those that were empath, leave a comment. I wondered if all of you guys are empaths or not, because I think highly sensitive people and empaths are somewhat the same because we feel so much. So what happened is when, like for instance, my mother growing up, I could feel that she didn't feel good about herself. And so I wanted to help her. I wanted to show her that I cared and that, I was worthy of her love and all this sort of thing. I at the time, I took confidence and love, I guess, kind of the arrogance the same way, all in the same. As a kid, you don't see the difference. Now as an adult, I see clearly the difference between love, arrogance, confidence, all these different emotions. Every one of them come from a different consciousness level. Well, empath is way up here. And I remember growing up thinking, why am I an empath? Why do I feel so much? So this goes back into the blame, okay? So I didn't mean to get on another tangent. So we'll talk more about being an empath, consciousness level, and all that on another video. So let's get back to blame. So when we blaming is easy. They did it. They did it. And then it relieves me of any responsibility, liability, accountability, that sort of thing. So I've learned that I don't blame anybody for anything anymore. It's low energy. It doesn't serve me to blame. I know that several of you still probably have that blame going on in your family, whether you're around checking on the fire, making sure that we got a little bit of wind going. So, but you basically have to make sure that your blame, in other words, back down. And when you think to blame something or somebody blames you, think about that for a minute. Go into deep thought and think, What is that accomplishing? Blame accomplishes zero, okay? It is a low consciousness level, energy level. And what we're trying, and I did it too, what we're trying to do when we blame is that shift the responsibility. That's all it is. So what we want to do is to make sure that we look at blame every time we go to blame something, say, what could I have done to change that situation? I hired my sister and my half brother years ago for a business. I thought they would have my back because I saw all these family businesses working together, and I told them, I said, we want to start this together. But when it came down to something was done behind my back, and the other one covered for the other one instead of covering for me. I just had that done with an employee too. It's like people have no loyalty um, to the people that are helping to provide for them. It's really disappointing. And so they all want to shift it to blame or not take a responsibility. So what I want to do, the whole thought behind this video is understanding blame does not make you stronger. People, if you blame somebody else, you're taking away your own power. If somebody blames you, just don't accept it like whatever. Whatever, just blow it off. You don't. So if you're offended by it when somebody blames you, again, you're giving away your power. The whole idea is you are in total control of your own life. Once I realized that, I had total control of my thoughts, my feelings, my decisions, my belief systems. Game changer. And this didn't happen overnight. Once I slowly started to learn all this, and I put it in my book, Life Made Simple. And so far, a lot of the people buying it on this channel saying they really like it. So I give gratitude. And anybody that has read it, if you can go on Amazon and give me a 5-star review, is another positive that would really help me out to get the word out. Tell me what the best chapter you liked in the book. I'm finding that people find different chapters in the book better depending on where they are in life. I've got somebody that really loved like chapter 9, another person that loved chapter 5. It's like, and there's a lot of different aspects of that, all the way from my journey to understanding what happiness is, to understanding how to gain happiness. Where do we get peace? What is peace? That sort of thing. And how is it that people that succeed, and why so many people struggle? I finally figured out why we struggle so much, and that's that mind, body, and spirit, that wholeness that we need, that most of us don't have. So that's going to end it today. I think I'll do another one, more depth on blame. But what I'd like to do is have some questions, maybe about your particular situations. And with your permission, I could actually do a video and talk about how to handle those situations and how I would handle it, and give you encouragement to let the blame go. Stop blame on either way in your life. Blame is just a low energy, okay? You have greatness in you, and I'm here to help you find that. You were born the perfect you. Your job is to become the best you. That is your purpose in life, is to become the best you. And then later on in life, we find maybe our deeper purpose once we've developed ourselves. I think one of my purposes now, of all the pain I've gone through, is doing this channel and writing that book. It's not what I had planned for my life, but I see so many people struggling. I did a survey, and it shows that 45% of everybody I surveyed came up in a narcissistic home, according to just a little random survey I did. I don't know how accurate it is. So they say that what, 1 out of every 5 people are narcissistic. That'd be 20%. So I got 2 narcissistic parents and 2 narcissistic siblings, and I lucked out, didn't I? and exes and all. So, but anyway, you're a wonderful human being. I just want you to find your greatness. So please leave a comment how I can answer anything on blame, or if there's another topic that you'd like me to talk about. From my heart to yours, I wish you nothing but blessings. Bye-bye now.